Well, welcome back to the Junkman's Adventures. We're going to be restoring a 1955 or 56 Nylint Michigan Shovel, or crane actually. This is the first generation version. As seen here, prices generally range between $7 and $10, which contemporary toys, that would be pretty pricey. It is modeled off the real thing, as you can see a picture of it right there. And we're going to take this one apart and restore it. Looks like I got a lot of work ahead of me. It's awful rusty. And this bucket really means business. Those teeth are actually quite sharp. That could do a lot of digging in some sand. And that's what it's designed for. So we run along here. You can see the decals are almost falling off. And the metal's pretty rusty. It's pitted in just a few places, but some of the plated parts are awful rusty, and we're going to replace some of those. As you can see, this part is broken here. The little wheel on there, because you push that in to make it operate. So we're going to start restoring. First, let's clip the screen and unwind it from the winch that operates the height of the boom. Just a little clip here that we need to just take off, and then we can remove the entire boom from the counterweight and engine assembly. Just pull this pin out real easily with a screwdriver and a pair of needle nose pliers. Some more clips here on the pins that hold the boom together. It comes in two sections. It's designed to be folded up for road transport or in the packaging. And I wanted to point out here that from the factory the decals were misaligned or applied very poorly. As you can kind of see, they slope up, so somebody didn't take a lot of care in putting the decals on when they first manufactured this. Now it's time to take the wheels off, and these are just push caps, so they'll come off with just some pliers and some little wiggling. You may have to pry these off. These are easily obtained at the hardware store, so no need to try and save them. And the wheels are in pretty good shape. I wanted to show this. When they painted it, they just ran it through a spray booth here, and whichever way these walking axle pieces were, that's how they sprayed them from the factory. Now to take off this push cap in here that holds the counterweight and crane assembly cabin on, I tried with pliers. I'm going to try my slide hammer here, so I got to drill a hole in here so I can put a sheet metal screw in my slide hammer and try and use it and pull the push cap off. Trying real hard here, and as you see, it just pulled out, slipped through, so I just had to do some cutting and tearing with pliers and just anything I could get down in there to just tear that push cap off, because like I said, it's easily replaced, so there was no need to save it, just as long as, even if I had to damage it, and there it is. The top motor compartment and counterweight just slides off. As you can see, it was kind of rusty, and that's partly the reason why it was so hard to get off of there. Just need to remove another push cap. This is for the winch that operates the shovel. There's the ratcheting mechanism on the side. And these are just some metal push hole covers that operate or look like the headlights. And on this, because it's so rusty and the paint is so bad, I am going to just strip it using some aircraft paint stripper. You know, follow the directions and everything, all the safety precautions. Now, I kind of got out of order here, but I needed to remove the cab and the steering wheel, and I'm using my slide hammer here. It's just pressed on with some splines, and this steering wheel comes off. And as you can see, the stripper did its work. I had to do this about 3 times to get all the paint off. I got almost it all off, so it's ready for a primer coat. And of course here we're outside. in a well-ventilated area, obviously, and we're using a self-etching primer because we're down to bare metal. I wiped it all down first, obviously, make it as clean as possible, and use this self-etching primer as the first primer coat. Now, I don't like watching paint dry, so here we are with the color coat on. This is the closest color of yellow I could find, and the closest color of blue for the boom. And my bucket was painted blue originally. I found some scrapes of paint. I just used some primer sealer and a top coat of appropriate yellow. And over that base coat of yellow, I'm going to use this Spray Max 2K clear. It's a two-part clear. As you can see, there's an inner chamber that you have to pierce using this red plastic piece. Put it on the bottom and then bang on the top of the can to puncture the inner tube in there, and then both parts can mix, so it's got a base and an activator. And this is probably the closest thing you can get to an automotive style clear coat, two-part clear, in a rattle can form. I used 2 dry coats and then a third wet coat to achieve a real hard, durable, and glossy shine with a 20-minute flash time in between each coat. And here they are. Everything has basically 3 coats of clear, and if my camera's picking it up well, you can see it's real nice and shiny, and it's very durable. I've used this clear coat a lot in the past, and it's held up well over even automotive touch-up finishes. So I'm very happy with that product. Would highly recommend. And we put the counterweight and motor housing on, and I lubricated it up with a little bit of dry lubricant, so it spins really well. And using a socket and a hammer, I could push that little push cap on. Here I'm putting the steering components back on, and it's just a spring clip that holds that tie rod end on to the steering shaft. Now this is the kind of graphite dry lube that I wanted to put a little bit in the bushings of the wheels so they roll real nice. And same again, we put those push caps on. I try to get them started with my fingers if I can, and then using a 13mm socket seems to be the right fit, and a socket extension and a hammer, and just hammer them home. Putting the other wheel on, doing the same thing with the push caps, and again, I just got these at my local hardware store. They look exactly like the originals, nobody would ever know, and they're brand new. And for the axles, I will start one push cap on one side of the axle, put a wheel on each axle, then fish them through the walking beam axle supports for the rear wheels and tires. And now to put the other side on. Put the wheels on first, tip it on its side, and you guessed it, that 13mm socket extension and hammer can hammer them home. And there it is with all the wheels on, and rolls and looks pretty nice. Now it's time to put the winch back on, and there's the ratcheting mechanism. Just push it through, and we'll replace the push cap on the other side, and using the same technique to hammer it home. And now I decided to take the masking off of the bright work on the front and push the new headlights. Again, these I just got at the hardware store. They're nothing special, just order the right size. The other headlight goes on the cab, and we'll put the cab on and show you what it looks like. Now time to reassemble the boom. Just put the pin back on. And fish the little spring clip in. This will take some doing, but a needle nose pliers on your fingers, you can just push it on. Same with the pins that hold the other part of the extension boom. Push them through, push the little spring clips on, ready to go. Now it's time to fish some black string into the winch area and then fish it through the pulley on the end and the plate. And then this is the winch for to raise and lower the boom. It's on that ratcheting mechanism. And you've seen I have replaced the wheel that goes on there. That's actually the steering wheel. I'll have to remake a new one, and I'm going to do that in another video, so you'll see that. I'm using a lighter to just kind of melt the ends of the nylon string, and the other one ties off in a knot through a little hole in that cab there, and then that's what holds the boom up at the right height when you winch the winch. Here we are, tied the bucket on. Now it's time to winch up the bucket, make sure everything works. Okay, now I have some reproduction decals that I got on eBay. I'll leave a link in the description to where I got them, and we just need to reapply them back where they go. These are just a peel and stick kind. I've used the water slide versions. Either ones are fine. These are obviously easier to apply, but the water slides sometimes look better because they're a heck of a lot thinner. And put the little authorized by Clark equipment decal right there. That's where it goes on the original toy. And here we go. We have it all put back together. Winching it up, and I think it looks pretty good, if I might say so myself. This one was kind of tough. There was a lot of parts, a lot of details, a lot of paint removal. It was pretty rusty, but with the new decals on, looks pretty nice. Now you'll notice there's no outriggers on the back of the toy. I have to remake those. I'm going to make those in another video, so stay tuned for that. And I thank you for watching. Check out my other videos, and I'll have a full operation video on this toy in the future.